Hi, I'm Sam and this is my very first YouTube upload because we're going to ignore the videos of 13-year-old me singing. I'm a university student in Bournemouth, England, and I'm originally from Cornwall. No, I don't have the accent, and I love music and art and making things, so that's what this channel is about basically. Part of the DIY section of my blog Let's Talk About magazine, and the link will be in the description. Here is what we're going to be making today, so I hope you like it. You'll need some paper, some acrylic paints, a canvas of whatever size you want, some scissors, duct tape, and your stencil. I made mine, but you can just print one off. First of all, you've got to begin by cutting out the stencil. I'm using scissors, but here you could decide to use a craft knife or a Stanley knife, whichever one suits you better. When it's cut out, it should look like this. Start with a selection of greens from light to dark. I've got 4 of them here, and they're the only 4 greens I'll use, and once we've done one half of the canvas we'll start with the yellows as well. Begin by using a fan brush to add water to the canvas and then add the darkest green you have. We're doing this in strips and then blending the colours in between to make it easier to do. You can make the strips as wide as you want. You can have the entire canvas just a spectrum of green, or do what I do and have it from green to yellow. The more water you add, the less paint you have to use, and it makes it a bit more cost effective. But if you want the colours really, really bright and bold, then use more paint and less water on your canvas. As you can see in this part, I am changing the colours and blending them together. You'll occasionally see me change the direction that I am using the brush to go up and down rather than horizontally across the canvas, and that's because I'm trying to blend the colours together at an angle, but I'll go over them again horizontally so that you can't see the lines going in different directions from the brush. Also, I'd really love to know if any of you attempt this project and what your final outcome was, so please feel free to share your creations to me on Instagram as Samsababy, SAMSABABI, or through the comments on my blog Let's Talk About Magazine, or you can hashtag LTA Magazine, LTA and M are all in capitals, and I will check out your creations, and if people want them featured, I will feature them at the beginning of my next upload. This is the final green that we're adding to the top half of the canvas. I'm actually painting this with different coloured acrylics, but you can use different paints. I don't think it would need to be acrylic paints. I chose acrylics because the colours are bolder and it means you have to use less paint. Again, I'm a student, so you know, go for the cheapest option in my case, but if you're painting on a big canvas you might choose to use wall paint. It's a lot more hard wearing. Here, because I decided that my lightest green was just a little bit too similar to the yellow that I was going to use to represent the blurred sky, I decided to add some more green and blend them together to create more of a gradient effect of the colours blending together. I also added that same green to the other layers just so that it had a smoother glide into each colour. here I have started adding the yellows. Now I didn't get them out and show you all my individual yellows like I did the greens, but it's basically the same concept. You choose as many different types of yellow as you want, and you apply them from the brightest yellow in the centre to the lightest yellow at the top of your canvas. The reason I used a darker yellow in the centre was because when it meets with the green you want it to blend together, but you also want to show that that's the horizon line of your picture. There's also going to be links in the description for places that you can buy the same sets I've got, or ones that are very similar, because some of my paint sets are so old that I don't even think you can buy them anymore. But I do have a lot of different paints, and even if they're not the ones I used for this project, they're still relatively cheap and easy to find from the Works or WH Smiths, and I think some of them even come from Poundland. The brush I'm using is a makeup brush from Poundland, because fan brushes from art shops are just way too expensive. And this is what the final canvas looks like once you've painted the background. Tape your stencil onto your canvas and use paint either on a brush or a sponge. I used a sponge to do the silhouette in whatever colour you want. Then peel the stencil off and you'll be left with the stencil in the centre of your page, like this. And you have a stencil you can use again. Now for the letters I just used a normal HB pencil because you don't want it to be too bold against your page, because then when you fill it in you might still see the pencil lines, and that is just something my OCD will not let me do with. So I wrote Dreamer, but you can write whatever word you want, and I did it in a calligraphic style, but you know, again, it's whatever you want to do. I then used a dark blue to paint the inside, as you can see here, because I wanted it to be bright and contrasting. And I have these amazing puff 3D paints that you can buy for £1 for each colour from Poundland and the Works, I believe. This one is a glitter blue, and I never use this unless I've already got a base colour because it's just not bright enough. But when you put it on top of another colour, it looks really good. And this is what it looks like when all the letters are done. And now it's just the finishing touches. These are card decorating things. A pack of them is £1 from Poundland. I chose 1 large grey rose and 2 small pink cornflower style embellishments. And I used the Poundland Super Glue by Tommy Walsh, who was on the best programme ever of Ground Force when I was younger. And yeah, just a tiny little dot of glue on the back of those. They are actually meant to be self-adhesive, but they are terrible. But I wasn't expecting much because I paid £1 for like 15 of them, so not really a big deal. And a pack of those glues, you get a pack of 6 of them with different size nozzles and stuff for like £1 as well. And this is what it looks like when it's all done. And now you get to see it from top to bottom. That's what the lettering looks like, and that's what the flowers look like when they're added. Love the glittery letters. And this is the kind of places you could put it in your room and what it could look like. This is it in my room. This is my reading corner. This is above my bed. I hope you enjoyed it.